Lagunitas is a tiny village, just a handful of houses really, located in north-central Honduras, about an hour from the nearest paved road. In January, the dirt road to Lagunitas is dry and dusty, cut with ravines that were dug out by floods during the previous rainy season. Our driver zigzags up the side of the mountain as I hang on for dear life in the bed of his pickup truck, watching nervously as he deftly avoids travelers on foot, along with a few odd chickens in the road. The chickens I see aren't wild, nor are they pets. They're a symbol, not of wealth, but of comfort. The fact that their owners are able to maintain a flock of chickens, that they're able to enjoy a dinner that includes meat once in a while, makes them slightly better off than many residents in this developing country, where 65% of the population lives below the poverty line. Select Honduran coffee is grown on farms which are located thousands of feet up on the sides of mountains. These slope-side coffee farms are a family affair, meaning everyone, wives, sons, and daughters, has a part to play in planting, tending, and harvesting the crop. Porfirio Castro and his wife own one of these small coffee farms, and each member of their family is responsible for its success.
I have 4 children. The first one is 22 years old, the second 20. The third one is a girl, she's 18, and the last one is 12.
She does various activities in growing coffee because, like we say, I acknowledge that coffee is a family crop because when we are preparing the field and preparing the soil to fill the bags and put the plants, they can help us fill the bags. And she also helps us to collect the harvest. We call it la corta. She goes with the kids to cut the coffee. That is an economical saving for the family because we don't have to pay that money. It stays in the house.
The children are fascinated with my camera, but they're too shy to say more than yes or no when asked any questions. It's hot, the air is thick, and buzzing with mosquitoes when Porfirio takes me to see their fields. We're joined by several of the other farmers in the village. One of them is 35-year-old Freddy. Freddy's quick to reply when I ask him if his family participates in the business.
Yes, for example, when we complete the bagging process, we all go when I dig the holes to plant a little plant. I dig the holes and they place the plants in each hole. So it is a great support because if I were to do it alone, it would be much harder.
Although I only visited for a short time, I got a taste of the difficult conditions the farmers face every day. The heat, the humidity, not to mention malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, and a host of other things that make this work so hard.
Well, all the jobs are tough, but to us it is like a culture, a custom. We, as peasants, have the desire to be over there in our fields, to be in our plots doing any activity work. It could be with the machete, hoe, pump, or any tool that we use in the field. For us, it is more like a joy to be in the field, because like I said, it is an origin from our forefathers, and we also have that something in our blood.
Coffee farming takes place seasonally, and the season is almost over. Most of the harvest has already been taken to the market. Using the term manzana, the Honduran equivalent of nearly 2 acres, the farmers explained to me how inconsistent coffee farming can be. Freddy describes what it is like to see his family's newfound livelihood nearly destroyed and how he gained his strength to keep going.
Well, since I only began 2 years ago, sometimes one has difficulties. For example, if one has a coffee plantation and sees that the plant has a disease, one wants to faint. One could easily give up at that point and just leave the plantation and quit, because up to that point, one hasn't yet seen the economic outcome of the process. But me, I am having the strength even though I have had great difficulties, because I, in the little field out of a sudden, once part of my plantation caught on fire, and I wanted to faint. But instead, what I have been doing is the effort to see if I can recover it and have at least 1 manzana or 1.5 manzanas in a good state that pleases me to see the field to have a good result.
Coffee farming is not a rich man's business, at least not for the small-scale farmer. The farmers have to learn how to live with fluctuations in production and resulting fluctuations in income. Right now, 1 lempira equals about 5 cents in US dollars. Porfirio talks in terms of quintales. 1 quintal equals about 101 pounds. When asked how much money he earns, Porfirio explains.
Well, there are many aspects, because if the production is big, the income is excellent regarding a manzana. If we use a manzana as a reference, if a manzana would produce 20 quintales, I'd win an average of 30,000 lempiras per year. But if I'd only produce 10, I'd only win 15,000 in a year.
In a country of 8 million, where only 32% of children attend secondary school, and just 8% go on to university, it would seem unlikely that coffee farmers and their families would dream outside of their familiar way of life. Yet they don't hesitate to talk about the changes they've seen, of the hopes for the future, for the education of their children, and for the development of their community. Porfirio's optimism shows as he discusses his hopes for his family.
The expectations are many, because to begin with, the hope is that in the future we can be maybe not small producer of coffee, but that I can have 1 or 2 manzanas of coffee well assisted. And the hope is also that the income of this crop we wish to have, we can invest in our families, and in the studies, and in the improvement of our communities, our houses, and well, of all the activities for which we need resources to perform in our communities.
Freddie speaks equally of his hope and vision of the future, where his children can be educated, self-sufficient, and proud.
My hope is, once I have planted a good plantation, teach them that growing coffee is good. When the plantation is giving production, take advantage so they can study, and after they earn a degree or something like that, teach them that they can also do what I did, so they can be able to plant their own plantation, regardless of their working location in the country. Because if they win money, with money they can do their own coffee plantation. That they don't lose the vision. Even with 1 plant, one can prepare himself. That they don't lose the vision, that they can also leave something to their families, following the example I have given them.
Freddie smiles through our entire conversation. He spends a lot of time doing what he loves, farming. His product is a beautiful red pod that enrobes a greenish-white bean. It's picked 1 at a time. After it's roasted, ground, brewed, and poured into a cup, the delicious sense of warmth and comfort it delivers is unequaled. Perhaps next time you experience this delicious taste, you will think of this tiny village and the farmers who work and raise their families here. My visit to Honduras showed me a way of life unlike I've ever seen, but meeting Porfirio, Freddie, and their families has shown me that no matter the differences in our lifestyles, we have and want many of the same things. A happy family, pride in the work we do, a productive life, and to offer our children a better life than the one we've known.
Y sale Pitero diciendo ay Jesús, Pitero está gordo,